It all started when Claire inherited her late uncle's countryside house. She was reluctant to move in but had no other choice. Her finances were in shambles, and a free house was a blessing she couldn't ignore. The old Victorian mansion stood at the edge of a forest, its peeling paint and creaking shutters giving it an air of melancholy. On her first night, Claire noticed something odd. The floor plan of the house didn't match the rooms inside. There was a section of the house, just off the main hallway, that didn't seem to exist. She counted the steps on the outside and compared them to the interior. There was a missing room. Curious, she tapped along the walls, and her hand brushed against a hidden seam. With effort, she pried it open to reveal a narrow, pitch-black staircase leading downward. A cold draft greeted her, carrying a faint metallic scent that made her stomach churn. Gripping a flashlight, she descended. At the bottom, she found an old door. Its wood was warped and splintered, as if it had been clawed at from the inside. Against her better judgment, she pushed it open. The room was small, with stone walls covered in deep scratch marks. A single chair sat in the center, its legs bolted to the floor. Chains dangled from the ceiling, rusted but sturdy. Claire felt her chest tighten as a faint whisper echoed around her. "Help me." The flashlight flickered. Her breath quickened. She turned to leave, but the door slammed shut on its own. The whisper grew louder, angrier, filling the room until it was a deafening roar. "You let me die!" Claire screamed, pounding on the door. When it finally burst open, she stumbled back into the main hallway. The staircase was gone, the wall seamless once more. Her flashlight revealed claw marks trailing up the walls, fresh ones. Over the next few days, Claire tried to convince herself it had been a nightmare, but the whispers returned every night, growing more insistent. She couldn't sleep, she couldn't think. Her reflection in the mirror began to warp, her face replaced with hollow eyes and a gaping mouth. One night, as she prepared to leave the house forever, the whispers turned into screams. Every door slammed shut, trapping her inside. The walls bled, the air thick with the stench of decay. The last thing she saw was the chair, now in her living room, chains waiting for her. When the house was finally sold years later, the new owners found no trace of Claire. But sometimes, at night, they hear faint whispers from the walls, begging for release.